I feel really good, and I thought that I would celebrate by obviously coming here with you, but I also wanted to look like twins with my friends. So
there we are. There we are. Well, listen, I guess you don't know how it's going at the moment with sales, but we've got some news.
You
for
do
you,
not.
We do.
We have a little bit of news.
We do already have the news that you are already at #1 in the download charts of the album. It's all right, isn't it?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful day.
Thank you. Do you know how many times I called and bought my own song today?
Now, we've set up the stage,
Yes.
especially for you.
This is
Got
going to be
Michael
so
Buble
much
and everything
fun.
in the background.
Yep.
So you're going to sing later on, but can you give them a bit of a taster?
You know, like to sing something?
Yeah.
Of like, just to
Great.
make me feel, you know, I'll do it. Can I get in the middle of you guys and be part of the group, though?
What are we going to sing, Michael?
Whatever you want, whatever you want. You make me feel so young, a little piece of it.
You start us off. You
Make me feel so young. You make me feel that spring
has sprung.
Yes. And every time. Okay, let's just cut to
I
that.
think of you.
Ready, we'll cut to the. You and I just running around the meadows. All those forget me
It's
not.
going well.
Bells to be rung and a wonderful thing to be flung. And even when I'm all the greater is today, 'cause you make me feel so. Man, I just feel so. You make me feel so young.
Brilliant. Brilliant. We're going to have more from that a little bit later on.
I'll get back
Anyway.
out of the group.
That was wonderful, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Thank
But
you.
first, Declan Curry launches a brand new series. We all need to get down there and support them,
Oh,
don't we?
honestly, I tell you what, Cleethorpes is a very fun place in my heart, you know.
Is
I used to
it?
dance at the end of that pier that was at the, in that end shot there.
In your 70s group?
In my 70s
He
group.
used to be in a 70s group,
I did,
Michael.
I did. Come on. I did.
Yeah.
Anyway. But you know, this is the thing, because Cleethorpes is just along the road from a very big fishing port in Britain, Grimsby.
Yes.
And your dad was a commercial fisherman, wasn't he?
He was. My father was. His father was. And his father immigrated from Italy as a shipbuilder. So we came from a long line of people, you know, basically in the fishing business.
Yeah. So were you obviously going to follow in your dad's footsteps? Did you go to sea yourself?
I did. I think my first year, I was 13, was my first half crew, and I did it till I was about 21. And I mean, it was. If you've ever seen shows like that, I'm not sure that like if you have a Deadliest Kind of Catch here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
with
yeah.
trawlermen
Yeah,
we
we've
have.
got the
Okay,
Deadliest
so that
Catch
kind of
as
thing.
well.
So
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, it could be probably dangerous and you know all of these things, but you know also rewarding because you learn to have common respect, you learn camaraderie.
Yeah.
The value of hard work and all that stuff. But when I turned about 19 or 20, my father looked at me and he said, you know what, kid, you want to be a singer? And he said, and you should probably just concentrate on that full time. And he used to beg me. He'd say, son, work with your head, not your hands. Not like your dad, you know, work with your head, not your hands. Yeah, so.
Well, I tell you what, it's just as well you didn't become Michael Buble, the fisherman, because we all would have missed out on moments like this.
Let me go home. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna come home and end this crazy life and through these crazy times. So don't go higher for desire. Put it in your head, baby. Hollywood is dead. You can find it in yourself. It's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying.
There's a song for everything in there. There's a song for everything, Michael.
Ooh, in that first clip of Home, I look like I'm sad. I'm summer day.
I feel it every time I hear that song. It does it to me. It really does. I think that's my favourite of yours.
Is that the favorite one? Yeah.
I think so.
That's a really good one. I like Lost as well, which wasn't in there, but a great song. But anyway, the last one was Beautiful Day, which is the single from the brand new album.
Tis.
And that is kind of an anti-love song, isn't it?
It is. You know, I wanted to pull a Taylor Swift, you know.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I want. No, I just thought it was.
yeah.
I thought it was fun to write a song, you know, that wasn't about love and gooiness and I missed you, I love you, my snooky poo. I wanted to write a song that sort of was. I wanted it to be a tribute and an anthem for all of those people out there right now who have been with that boyfriend or girlfriend that treated them badly, dumped them, and you've now realized that life is way better without that schmuck.
Right.
Have you had that
I can sense an
experience?
applause coming, but it didn't happen.
You wanted to. Yeah.
Everybody was feeling it.
Well, I mean, can I ask how many of you have gone through that?
Yeah, well...
There we go. So exactly. And I wanted to give people hope that, you know what, that it gets better, and that, you know, don't let yourself down because of that person.
Okay. And there's some interesting duets actually on this album as well, isn't there?
Yes.
You've got Bryan Adams on there, which is you're a big fan of him because that was your first album, wasn't it, basically?
Yeah, so I bought Reckless, I think when I was like 8 years old. And I think, you know, you imagine, I was from Vancouver, Canada, and here was a guy who was a Vancouver guy, a Canadian kid, who had made it, you know, world famous, and it gave you hope as this Canadian boy from a small town that maybe if he did it, you could too. And I just loved his voice, and we became very close because my manager managed him from when he was about 17 years old and started managing me at about 25, and so we just kind of became like stepbrothers, you know, and this was just my excuse to be able to work with him and write with him, so I was thrilled to do it.
And Reese Witherspoon's in there as well.
That's quite random, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems, you know, it seems like it, but...
Well, it is.
But how do you really feel about it? I loved Walk the Line. I loved it. I mean, I was a big Johnny Cash fan, and I thought her portrayal of June Carter was just the best. And I thought that she had this great voice. And as an actress, I knew that she could understand subtext. And that song, for me, is all about the subtext. And so... I loved it. It was a coup. It was a coup getting her, and it wasn't easy because I think she was a little bit nervous. I know that she had said she was nervous when she did the Walk the Line, and we were in it. We were in the studio for literally not 20 seconds, and I knew that she was wonderful. It was really great. It was very natural. You know, we do things in a very organic way on this record, and I mean. It's a difficult way to make a record, but to me, it's the reason I loved the old Motown records and the old Reprise records was that everybody was in one room and you just went for it and you didn't mess around with all the, you know, the pitching and the time, the computers. We actually went to tape for a lot of it, which is really old school, but it gave it that great feeling that I had missed so much.
Yeah, well, back in 2003, you were sat on a sofa with a certain Michael Parkinson.
I remember.
Yeah, and do you know what? We've got a little surprise for you.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Now, he's not the worst looking man in the world, is he? You must say. So I thought, you're not just going to be a great recording artist, you're going to be a great star. And of course, that's what he's become. And it's all down to me, apparently. Don't believe that for a moment, except I would Michael, you know, now and again, some bit of recognition, maybe, you know, Parky, poor, out of work.
Have you got a message back for him? The poor lad.
I do have a message back. Where's my camera?
Yeah, go
straight down to
there. Well, here, you know what? The truth is, he did have more to do with it than anyone can imagine. I'd come to London to do my first showcase for very few people, and I had this woman from the company came running up to me, and she was very emotional, truly crying, and she said, "You have Parkinson's. You have Parkinson's." And I thought, I'm gonna die for sure.
Michael.
Little did I know that truly this gentleman, this wonderful man and his wife would take me under their wings and truly take me to a place I never thought he'd go, not just for me, but for guys like Jamie Cullum, even Winehouse. He was such a wonderful champion for us, and I love him to death. I love him to death. I'm so happy that I just got to see him.
Well, let's hope we have some of the effect that Michael Parkinson...
Yeah, well, you never know. We might be doing recorded messages for you in a few years.
Yeah, maybe. And don't forget, Michael, of course, will be performing live at the end of the show.
Without us, we might add.
Oh, yeah,
And
we
if you
won't
saw the
spoil it
video-
next time.
Anyway, now Michael has sold 40 million albums.
Sorry, that was me.
Just isn't it?
But a blockbuster in Victorian times could be a new book by Charles Dickens, or even the unveiling of a painting. And Giles right in the middle,
Yeah,
like
of course,
Frith was himself, of course. And you're a bit of an art collector, well, a photography collector, actually.
Yeah, well, it's art. Yeah, there's a gentleman named Bill Claxton, one of America's greatest photographers, and I used to live near him, and we became close. And he was a wonderful man. He was a gentleman. He's gone now, but he got many of the greatest photos of Steve McQueen and Louis, Satchmo, and all these great people.
And you've got some of his stuff then in your house. Whereabouts do you hang it?
Well, I've got a bunch. Have you?
Yeah,
in different places. Some of them just in safes and stuff. But I really loved them.
That's yours, I think, isn't it? Is that one?
Yeah, that's Chet Baker. That's one of his great shots.
Nice.
Is he a trumpeter? Was he?
Chet was a trumpeter, great jazz musician, and a kind of a very troubled soul.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to the movie they're going to make about his life one day.
Yeah.
Okay, and you spent lots of your childhood in sort of swing clubs, didn't you? Because your granddad, Mitch, Well, he was sort of your inspiration, is that fair to say, for getting into the type of music you do now?
I would say that he was, you know, I was at a young age drawn to it through, you know, through Christmas music and everything, and Bing Crosby and all that. Yeah. But he was.
You?
That's me.
You've changed loads.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. He's my best buddy still, and what he would do, he's a plumber, and he would go into different nights. I was only 16 years old when I started working in the clubs, and basically not drinking age. So he would sneak me in, and basically he would sort of, you know, do plumbing work for them under the table so that they'd at least let me play.
Yeah.
So he's still my inspiration.
I love him.
And how does he feel about becoming a great granddad?
Well, this is his number 5, so I think.
Oh, is it? He's used to.
And I don't want to say that I'm the special one, but I like to think that I'll be the special one.
Number 1 grandson.
Are you going to start singing lullabies now? Then are you going to start doing it?
I do. I sing. You know, you know, I thought about that many times. Would I make a nice record for the kids? I mean, it's funny. A lot of people say to me that their kids, they play my music in the car to help.
You got a friend in me. It's on this album.
Love that.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, knowing how close Michael is to his grandfather,
On stage, the three of us, Michael, it's like old times.
we are not singing
no,
this time.
well, we're not.
Clarify that.
But Michael, what you are about to sing has a bit of a connection, doesn't it, to your grandfather?
It does. You know, I started off the record with this song, "You Make Me Feel So Young," and I ended off with "Young at Heart" because I asked my grandpa one day what it was like to feel like I was 85 years old, and he said, "Sunshine," he said, "I'm 85 here," he said, "but up here I'm still 17." So I figured it would be a good one to do.
Brilliant. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful having you. Do you want to hear him sing? That's so.
Right.
Well, we will leave you with the wonderful Michael Buble. Before we do, we'd like to say that is it. That's all we've got time for. Thank you so much. On tomorrow's show, we're going to be joined by Lisa Riley and Craig Revel-Horwood.
Yeah, but now it's time for Michael to perform "You Make Me Feel So Young" from his brand new album, To Be Loved.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
All right, boys. You make me feel so young. You make me feel that spring sprung. And every time I see a grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon like a big balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, grab all those forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so young. Oh, you make me young. You make me feel that spring is sprung. And every time I see you grin, just a happy individual. The moment that you speak, wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon like a big balloon, because you and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, grabbing up You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so, man, I just feel so. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so young, baby. So young. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so young.